Audio sample. My eyes blinked open in alarm and confusion as the unfamiliar sound pierced the night air, instantly forming a knot in my gut. It was no human sound, at least not one that I had ever heard. No, it was low-pitched, guttural cry, something raw, distinctive, and primal. Again, the primal call cut through the darkness, sending another wave of chills up and down my spine. As I lay paralyzed in fear, the fog of my slumber gradually lifted, allowing pieces of reality to slip into place. Rick and I weren't snuggled side by side in our king-sized bed. No, he was sleeping in a narrow bunk similar to mine, 6 feet away. The new sleeping arrangement wasn't behind the secure walls of our rural Idaho home. We were behind the canvas panels of a wall tent. But unlike most of our outdoor excursions, we weren't in Idaho's backcountry wilderness. The distinctive oomph belonged to none of the wild critters we were familiar with. Instead, we were in a remote expanse of the Tanzanian bush, an exotic land where the people, terrain, and animals were far different than anything we had ever experienced. A place where lions, hyenas, leopards, and elephants roamed freely throughout the landscape. With that awareness, I puzzled over the bestial grunt. The oomph sounded nothing like the King of Beasts' ferocious roars from MGM movie introductions. Still, there was little doubt that the foreboding sound belonged to anything other than a real, live, honest-to-goodness African lion. Simba, a simple but potent Swahili word. The dread I felt told me that it could be nothing else. We were, after all, in the heart of lion country, a fact that gave Masimba Camp its name. 3 days of international travel and sensory overload had turned us into little more than zombies when we crawled into our beds earlier that first night. Accordingly, we expected to fall asleep as soon as we hit the sheets. That didn't happen. The second the generator spit to silence and the staff vanished into their quarters, the din of camp life was replaced by an unfamiliar barrage of primal voices. Hyenas, Rick whispered from the darkness across the tent. Fisi, I thought to myself. The animal's Swahili name had been used at dinner in the retelling of a gruesome story, a tale that might have been better left unsaid, especially with a fearful, reluctant greenhorn like me gobbling up every word. Lying wide-eyed, I listened to Fisi's insane chorus, an ensemble of squeals, roars, growls, and maniac-like hysteria as it seeped through the canvas barrier from every direction. Next, a deep bellowing oozed through the tent's walls. With this new vocal came Rick's best guess. Has to be a hippo. The next few hours continued like that, with Rick doing his best to decipher each new dialogue, a conglomeration of chittering, chattering, cooing, cawing, shrieking, growling, grunting, and crying, a symphony, so to speak, of bestial serenades. During those first few hours, Simba's cries had been missing from the ghostly composition. We listened and waited, but none had come. When exhaustion overpowered the unsettling vocals, we drifted off. At least until that first hair-raising oomph shattered our sleep. The deafening silence on the opposite end of the tent told me that Rick was also wide awake. After sleeping with someone for 15 years, the sound of their breathing is as telling as any words. He, too, was listening to the lion. How could he not be? The canvas walls, with 8 mesh windows, offered little in the way of soundproofing. Even more alarming, the fabric provided laughable protection against deadly predators.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.